We loaded. Say less. Say less. Yo, what's going on, world? Paradigm Worldwide CEO Shell Sosa. I'm down, whatever you want to call me. I'm here at my studio. I just put in these clothing racks today, getting ready to change shit up. One thing I'm getting ready to do is turn this space into like a studio space. Open it up, not studio space. That's what it is now, a storefront. So I got the supplies, I got the setup, got the clothes, definitely. So why not make it an appeasing setup that invites people in and makes it a vibe. So check it. One of the things I want to come and talk to you about today is clothing brands entrepreneurship. Today's topic is gonna be on trying to think, what can I say that's valuable to people? Today I want to talk about how you source manufacturers. So right now I currently do a lot of in-house production or local. I've got a lot of connections and resources that allow me to make things at a fast level. And for me in my business, I like quickness, availability, and being able to get things quick, fast, in a hurry. So if I can create a design, print it same day, can't beat that. So one thing I want to talk about is sourcing your manufacturers. A lot of people typically go the vendor manufacturer route, overseas outsourcing, and that's perfectly fine. I highly recommend it. However, there are also some things you kind of want to make sure of when you're making those type of decisions. One, what country you're ordering from. A lot of time people who order from like Pakistan or Turkey or, Middle Eastern countries, typically can be a lot more challenges of what you're doing. One thing that I personally just don't feel comfortable with is like Western Union and, different types of like money sending services because they don't have like Cash App and typical payment processors. So it's like you have to kind of go through another route. And then it's like there's no type of security behind it. Once you send the money, it's kind of they can do whatever they want. They can fulfill the job or they can run off. And I've had a lot of people tell me they dealt with Pakistani manufacturers running off with their product. So you want to make sure of that. Thing two, with ordering from Pakistan, I've noticed that a lot of people typically have problems as far as quality. Price point, they will give you a good price point, definitely. But as far as quality, durability, it's not always where you want it to be. They'll short sheet you, because they need the money. That's what it is. So they're going to do whatever they can to make the order as cost efficient for them so that they can keep the most amount of profits. Lastly, communication, man. Going to communicate with Pakistani vendors, it can be hit or miss, especially, this is really with all manufacturers. But from what I just see, there's a lot of hit or miss communication, not understanding certain things, understanding like, how you want your product made. But that also goes on the brand owner. So the second route outside of Pakistan is China, like through Alibaba. Me personally, I outsource through Alibaba because they have trade assurance. And what that is, that allows you to be secure in your transaction and not feel like you're getting played. And, if you feel like you didn't get the right order or they messed up anything, you can escalate things to Alibaba and then they'll help dispute the transaction and potentially give you a full refund or at least partial based upon that. However, dealing with China, you're going to spend a higher premium. That's just kind of what comes with it. You can definitely source a lot better materials and fabrics for your brand, but just know it's going to come at a cost. And they like working with higher MOQs. So smaller businesses, if you're getting like 50 to 100 pieces, you can find that. But most of them will try to want at least 100-piece MOQ per color, per design. So make sure you're fully aware of that. Lastly, you've got local, or in a sense where we're at, United States printing. I like this route because it allows me flexibility in terms of how much of product I'm getting made, how many, and I can kind of see the process of what's going on. Where I used to work at a screen print shop called Close Minded up in North Cross, Georgia. Shout out to O. They kind of taught me the game and the foundation for building a print shop business. And so one of the things that I really took heed of were tech packs. You want to make sure you're always having a tech pack whenever you're getting anything made to be sure that the quality of the product you're trying to produce is what you need it to be. A lot of times, not damn near 90% of the time, all brands starting out, they're not going to create a tech pack. They're going to get a mock-up, send this to their manufacturer, like, hey, can you make this? And then they'll say, yeah. And then that's it. And then you probably might order a whole load, not even getting a sample in, and you get the product back, and it's like, wow, I'm not satisfied with this. This is not what I wanted. And you're going to get mad at the vendor. Hey, you did this, I wanted this. Look, bro, you didn't specify that. They created the piece to the best of their ability with the knowledge they were provided. That causes them to either short sheet, causes them to mess up, and it caused a lot of confusion and miscommunication. So want to make sure you're really knowing how to communicate with these manufacturers and providing specific details to what you're trying to get, so that way you get the product you're looking for. Another thing that when it comes to outsourcing manufacturers, you got your tech pack. That's one. The second thing is communication, knowing how to communicate, knowing what you want, and knowing how you want it. I know all these things are going to go inside of a tech pack, so that's why I try to push tech pack, because everything that you need for what you're trying to create is going to be in this document. And make sure it always includes things as the size chart, the garment color, the garment material, the weight, the GSM, the singles. Then you've got like certain elements of the piece that you're making. So if I'm making a hoodie, how long do I want the drawstrings? How thick do I want the drawstrings? How long do I want the sleeves? What kind of ribbing do I want? What kind of hemmings do I want? Do I want like a double stitch? Do I want single stitch? Do I want a tubular cut? Do I want oversized? There's so many different ways you can customize pieces, and knowing what you want will increase the chances of you getting what you're asking for. Most definitely. So yeah, trying to think anything else to add. Yeah, it's a learning process. I say the top 3 do's and don'ts I recommend would be not even do's and don'ts. 3 tips I'll give any entrepreneur looking to outsource their clothing to Alibaba or Pakistan or even locally. Make sure that you understand how to communicate with them effectively. Have your tech packs, know what you want, know where you want it and how you want it to look, and make sure it's documented. Second thing, order a sample. Always order a sample. Take your time. Don't try to rush things because you have a good idea, because a lot of times you end up in a situation where you get a product you're not satisfied with. So make sure you're always ordering a sample. Wear test it, wash it, run it over, do whatever, tear it up. Try to see how much distress I can put this through in it before it actually starts to fall apart. That's the purpose of wear testing. How much wear can I get out of this piece? The last tip I'll give to anybody sourcing their clothing, whether it be overseas or locally, knowing your print decoration methods and what works best for what you're trying to create. There's so many different methods. Screen print is probably the most popular. Then you've got DTG, DTF, embroidery, sublimation, ink transfer, heat transfer, vinyl. The options are limitless, but knowing what to say in those terms will really define the type of clothing you get. Because I have a lot of entrepreneurs that will think they're getting screen printed shirts whole time they're getting DTF, and they just did not know. And there's nothing wrong with DTF. However, if you want a screen print, you got DTF, that's a problem. Definitely. So make sure you're on top of that. This is Paradigm Worldwide CEO just giving you some game today. Come tune back in tomorrow where I will update you every day with some information and knowledge that will help you grow and scale your business. Paradigm out.